Throughout the ages, human beings have believed that there is a higher force which has created everything and leads everyone to their destiny. And there are others who don't believe in it. Those who believed in a higher force which leads everyone to their destiny also believed that they can live by their own choice. And those who disbelieved in it naturally are convinced that they live by their own choice. Anyway, both the believer and the non-believer of the higher force live in the same manner, that is, by choice. A few of the so-called believers of higher force, by not looking at this simple truth that they and the non-believers both live in the same manner, that is, by choice, have considered themselves so pure and divine and claimed themselves as spiritual leaders and deceived so many on earth generations upon generation. They consider themselves so pure because they take belief as the criteria. They didn't take the manner of living as the criteria. Believing in something is so very easy for a human being, and that doesn't make anyone pure or divine at all. Furthermore, to prove themselves as divine, these dominant exploiters deceive the human beings by performing some valueless miracles which any fool can do with a little practice and tricks, and also by predicting something which any conceited can do with a little prejudgment and mathematics. Moreover, on knowing well that a fearful person can easily be dominated, these corruptionists started intimidating the humans by preaching them that there exists a powerful evil in this creation which distracts the peace of humans and which makes a human go astray from the divine path. Human beings got caught in this type of ignorant preaching and took for granted that there exists an evil force in creation because they see that they often suffer in life without peace. Eventually, to save themselves from this so-called evil force, people fall at the feet of these corruptive dominants who claim themselves as spiritual leaders and follow to what all they preach without knowing that these dominant preachers are that very evil force who are literally denying the real path to divinity, acting as a strong barrier to the human beings in attaining divinity, and who merely preach a mirage of truth and peace to human beings, and also make the people cry and watch it like a psychopath. Human beings are unaware that theirs and these dominant exploiters' very ignorance is that more powerful evil which distracts one's peace and denies the truth of divinity. Eventually, they follow more ignorantly to the preachings of these ignorant evil dominants who, in the name of spiritualism, denies spiritualism by ever fueling and perpetuating ignorance in the minds of the human beings. These exploiters, to make a distinction between themselves and others, started dressing themselves in a peculiar fashion which the ancestors wore 2000 or 3000 years ago, as if spirituality exists in the dress one wore. Now, to come out from the clutch of these bogus people and understand for ourselves the truth very clearly, and thereby freeing ourselves from these evil forces, let us see whether there is a higher force or not, whether we live by chance or by choice. You turn your head lift your hands, walk, sit, think, and so on, and say, "It is my choice." First of all, you breathe. Is that breathing your choice? Are you breathing, or breathing happens in you? Is not your breathing in the hands of something higher than you? To move your body, blood should circulate. Are you circulating your blood by a choice, or does the blood circulate by itself? Are you pumping your heart by a choice, or does it pump by itself? In the same manner, do you function your liver and kidneys? Every organ of your body functions by itself, not by your choice. The function of your nerves and veins are not your choice. The brain and its function is not your choice. Then, how can thought, which is the product of the brain, be your choice? Without breath and the automatic function of all the organs of your body, can you turn your head, lift your hand, walk, sit, think? Therefore, that you call choice is grounded in something higher than you, which is the cause even for the tiny movements of your body. Is not your whole body very apparently under the influence of something very higher than you? Is it not very apparently clear that you can't claim any of your body's activities as your activities? Our body has never been born by our choice. The movement of our body is not our choice. The movement of thought is not our choice. And the movement of our breath is not our choice. Who was breathing, making movements, and living in your body when you were a child? When you were a child, you do not know who you are. You did not have any identity as I am. Your breath, hands, legs, head, eyes, everything moved and acted by itself. You were not doing all those things. The same body grows. After 1 year of age or so, you come into existence and start feeling an I am. After having felt the I am, you start identifying that I am with the body which was already moving and acting automatically. After a little growth, you start identifying yourself with the automatic actions of that body as your actions. If the head turns, you think that you have turned it. If your hand grabs something, you think that you are grabbing. If that body is afraid due to its protective nature, you think that you are afraid, and so on. But in the actuality, the same higher force which was breathing, lifting your hands, grabbing something, shaking your legs, turning your head, scared, crying, smiling, while you were a child, is still the doer of all these things now too. The body may grow bigger, yet that higher force lives in that body, acts through that body, which you touch and say, I am. But why do you have a feeling or conviction that you are acting your body? That is because before your hand grabs something outwardly, you have been given a thought of grabbing it. That is, a spark of thought flashes in you before the body acts. When you were a child, the same hand grabbed something without having a pre-thought about it. But now, the same hand grabs following a spark of thought. And because you identify yourself with the thoughts that are happening in you, makes you feel that you are thinking. And because you feel that you are thinking, you are convinced that you are acting the body which follows a thought before acting. But actually, you are not thinking on your own. Thoughts come through your brain, and that brain is not under your choice. Thoughts are sprouting out by the will of the same higher force. As the body is governed and moved by the higher force, thoughts too are governed and functioned by the same higher force only. Since actions follow the thought, we feel that we are acting because we have a conviction that we are thinking by our choice. If thought is our choice, then could one control it? Even if you try to control it, the decision to control it occurred to you only after an automatic thought to control it has happened in you. That thought, as well as all the other thoughts, are in no way under the control of you. Are we under the control of thoughts, or thoughts are under our control? Which is the bare truth? We are under the control of the automatic movement of the body as well as the automatic movement of thoughts. This truth is very, very apparent for a person who just sees it in oneself. The conviction that we are the doer arises due to the illusion of thoughts which occurs in us because our I am, as of now, is the product of thoughts. Or, in other words, our I am or our personality is grounded only in thoughts. To see it more precisely, what is your I am now? Whence your I am? For an instance, if we wipe away all the memories of a particular human being from his brain through an electric device or so, how will he behave then? Can he assert who is he after his memory is deleted? If we ask him, "Who are you?" can he reply his name or identity? Do the same previous I am exist in him? No, isn't it? So, now, what is one's I am? One's I am is nothing but one's memories. Is not memory a bundle of so many thoughts? If thoughts are deleted, the I am is also deleted. While you were a child, you lived completely in the present moment without thoughts or memory. You didn't think of the past or of the future because you never registered the happenings of yesterday or of the previous moment in your memory. That's why you lived without an I am in particular. After a year or so, your mind starts registering the happenings which takes place in front of you. By and by, the happenings registered by the mind becomes the memory in you. And when memory as thoughts has happened, a past has happened. When past has happened through memory, an I am has happened. That's why when memory is deleted from the mind, the I am is also deleted with it. That memory created I am is elusive and a dream entity and a fictitious entity. That memory created I am is the personality in everybody. On the deletion of that I am, you are not deleted, but you exist as the real I am. We are now identifying ourselves with that memory created imaginary I am. This imaginary I am is the reason for all the bad and good experiences because it is this imaginary I am which experiences all via dreams and thoughts. Due to the association and identification with this imaginary I am, we have forgotten our real I am, which is just in front, existing in the body and as the body, and which is ever in peace, serenity, blissful, divine, and always free from sufferings and experiences. That's why one should very carefully understand that peace, serenity, truth, divinity, bliss and the like are not something beyond us up somewhere in some heaven. It is not a new attainment by walking in a specialized path or following somebody. Instead, it is a wakefulness to the truth. And when these issues are seen with the eyes of truth, then one's entanglement is untied. One steps into the infinite sky of freedom. Freedom means ending one's doership on the perception of the highermost truth. Truth, the sacred, the holy, exists very near oneself as oneself. That sacred is the alive, silent I am in all. In being with the real I am, one's memory gets back and takes its own place and performs its duties under the command of the real I am. The body with the real I am, which was living completely in the present moment when you were a child, without the memory created I am, now too lives completely in the present moment without any decrease. The body and the most sacred I am, who breathes and functions the body, is just in front, available at all times. It is the most nearest. Those who see or feel one's own physical face, one's own breath, one's hand movements, leg movements, the whole body in its movements and stillness, and be with that seeing, then one is liberated from all sufferings, stress and depression, howsoever intrinsic it may be or howsoever unsolvable it may be, and will be pulled into the ocean of everlasting bliss and peace and attains to immortality. That sacred, who breathes and lives in everybody and in every creature, is the doer, not us. If one settles to one's own physical body and see its movements and stillness, one would know that one is not the doer of anything, even to the least, a blink of an eye too. That divine is the real I am in everybody and in every creature. When a person ascertains my body, my thoughts, my breath, and so on, she or he must be sure that they are the doer of all these matters. But if they see that it is not so, then the doer of all these things should ascertain I am, not we. Now, if one sees one's own body, that is, if one watches what is one's face doing, not in the mirror, if one sees in what position one's palms and fingers are, how does one's body breathes and settles in that watching, one's mind will merge in the reality and there will exist alive silence. In the same way as one watches the other person, if one watches how one's own physical face and body is reacting to a situation or in aloneness, and be with it continuously for a few minutes, the body will become still. From there on, the only obvious movement would be breath. That breathing is not yours, but of the divine's. Hence, one should allow that breathing to breathe in its own way. Sacred within will reveal itself by moving your head, hands and your body. You will see that you automatically smile. If you allow it, not giving much importance to the objects outward, you will see in due course of time that your life is transformed from darkness to light. If someone praises you, please look at your physical face to how it is reacting, to how your lips, eyes and cheeks react. If someone hurts you, then look at your face in the same manner. Even in normal situations, try to look at your face along with your body in the above said manner. How can one see and be with one's body effectively? One should make one's mind, let me see what this physical face and body, which is functioning by the presence and will of the Divine, react in its own way to all the situations. Now, I am going to just see how this face, hands, fingers and the whole body responds to all the situations, and I am going to see how this physical face and body is going to experience my suffering, my happiness, my pain, my loneliness and so on. I am just going to see it because what all my physical face and physical body does literally is my real doing. What all my physical face and physical body reacts literally is my real reaction. What all my physical face and physical body experiences literally is my real experience. Other than that, all are my imaginations and dreams only. Those feelings which I experience through imagination may appear real to me, yet it is a delusion. I don't want to falsely experience anything. I want to truly experience. Let my mind create its imagination. I am not going to bother it because as the blood circulates by itself in my body, and as each organ of my body does its own destined duty, my mind also does its duty. Let everything function in its own way. But I am going to shift my identification from the non-real experience to the real experience. Non-real experience being my imagination and dreams, and real experience being my physical body, face, hands, fingers, legs experience. If my face and body is silent, then it is me who is silent. If my physical face and body doesn't experience anything, then I am also not experiencing anything. Those gentle people who are atheists need not consider their body's movements as devices, but should consider their body as their real I am and start seeing how their physical face and physical body is going to react in a situation and experience the feelings. If a person starts doing this, then unknowingly she or he does a very great thing. That great thing is nameless. But for an understanding purpose, if one is to name this act, then it is called surrender. It is called satsang, that is, merging one's mind in the superior self. It is called devotion, that is, seeing Divine's presence in oneself and throwing all one's burdens on the Divine so that it will carry and experience one's burden. It is called abiding in the truth. It is called selfless action. It is called cessation of one's I, that is, on seeing the superior I, one's ignorant, dreamy I vanishes. It is called action without the actor. It is called identification with the superior self. It is called choiceless awareness. It is called inaction in action. It is called knowing thyself. It is called yoga, that is, union with the divine. It is called karma yoga, that is, doing one's duty with the conviction that one is not the doer, but the Supreme Divine is the doer through them. It is called jnana yoga, that is, contemplating on one's I am and finding out that the Supreme Divine exists as one's I am, and therefore renouncing one's actions. It is called thou art that is, you are that, seeing that you and the Supreme I both are one. It is called just being, that is, knowing well that you are not the doer, you just be with the existence. It is called dharma, that is, knowing and being with the justice of creation. It is called shunya, that is, freedom from all concepts, images, experiences, and freedom from freedom itself. All the paths which one considers as different are in fact not different. The I am is the only way. The I am is the only truth. The I am is the only sacred. Nobody's I am is the way, truth, and sacred to you. Your I am is the only way, only truth, only sacred to you. You, who watch your real physical face and physical body, should allow your body to act in its own way. If the eyes close, let it close. Again, if it opens, let it open. If the hands and palms change its position, let it change. If the breath goes deep to your stomach, let it go. If your breath stills for a while and then get released, let it happen. You just be with it. If your head lifts and focuses on something, you be with your head, not with what it focuses. If your eyes see something, be with your eyes, not with what it sees. As the sunflower faces only the sun and be only with the sun's movements, one should face only their self and be only with its movements. The self being the eyes, face and body as of now. Being totally with your physical face's reactions and physical body's reactions is surrender, devotion, merging, identifying, abiding, knowing, and all the rest. You, who follow your own real I am, which is your body as of now, would be literally connected to the most holy being who resides within you. And from there on, he, the most sacred, the most compassionate, the most holy, will take hold of you and walk in your walking, stand in your standing, sit in your sitting, move in your moving, and do in your doing. He will show that he is the doer and not you. You will be hugged by the one and the only divine. You are protected throughout. The real protection starts from there on. You as a non-doer, he as a doer, both will merge together, and the action which comes out of you will be through you, not from you. Yours as an inaction, his as an action. Both will mingle together and will come out as actionless action, non-movement in movement, silence in sound. Even if you do not want to go up till this point, You just watch your physical face and physical body when you are alone for a few minutes and get associated with that practice. Then, at times of fear, sorrow, happiness and the like, you watch your physical face and physical body alone as practiced. Then see what happens to your fear, sorrow, depression, self-sympathy, greed, suspicion, mental agitation, and also to your maturity level in due course of time. You will be transformed. The unattainable state becomes attainable. The impossible divine becomes possible. The unimaginable truth becomes evident. This one act alone is enough. One need not know all the explanations about things. One need not acquire any knowledge from any priest. This is an escalator, not stairs. You just stand balancing in this escalator. It will take you to the top without your effort.